So after about 7 months, guess what? I have finally received my pre-orders that I ordered from Games Workshop that includes the Incursors as well as the Infiltrators. I really can't believe it took them that long to get these particular sets out to me, but I'm sure that with the pandemic and other various shipping issues, that's as well as maybe probably manufacturing issues, that's the reason why it took so long for me to get all this stuff finally in my grubby little hands so I can review it with you guys. But I'm very, very happy that, again, that I got these guys, boys in blue, and I'm going to be pretty sure that this particular box, the contents that are inside, are going to follow the exact same format as the Blood Angels Death Company Intercessors that I received not too long ago. So there are going to be 4 separate figurines, both highly detailed, as well as you can pop things off, including the different helmets, as well as the different armaments and weapons. So I'm really excited to get into this review. And I'm going to be saving the Infiltrators for the next video. So stay tuned for that one. Let's review some Incursors. All right, here we go. Just in case if you guys do not know what an Incursor looks like, this is what the Warhammer miniature is. So we've got the Haywire Mine over here, the combat blades, as well as the Oculus bolt carbine, if I'm not mistaken. So this is your standard Warhammer model, and obviously the boys underneath are modeled after this guy. So let's see what we got over here. As I said to you before earlier, this is going to be pretty much the standard packaging where you have 4 smaller boxes on the inside. There we go. And lo and behold, it is the same packaging as you saw with these earlier ones. So let's pop these bad boys out. Here is the box of the first half of the Ultramarines Incursors. And then I will show you the second half of the Ultramarines Incursors. I believe these guys should, one of them at least, should have the Haywire Mine, I hope, if I saw the images online correctly. So, without further ado, let's bust open the boys in blue. So, again, very excited to see what this is like. Very similar. Each and every single one of these things comes sealed in its own plastic set, or plastic wrap, I suppose you would want to call it. And as usual, this is a fantastic figure. Let's open up this outer wrapping, and I believe it should come with like an inner card that's going to say what the name. However, unfortunately, it does not appear to be the case. Maybe with the American version, they decided not to package it with the names of Incursors because the Blood Angels Death Company Intercessors actually had individual names, but unfortunately this guy doesn't. Let me try to get a little bit closer with the camera over here. So as you saw before, this action figure is fully articulated and can do a full range of motion, 360 degrees, obviously not very natural. However, it's capable of a large degree of motion, and this one, because of the particular helmet as well as the Phobos armor, it does not come with a separate or full helmet versus one that you see here that does not have the helmet. So this is, again, a very, very highly detailed action figure that I just completely love. As you see over here, there's care put in this thing, as there are highlights that you typically won't find on an action figure. And you also see the highlights over here in between the armor plating, and especially the highlighting here with the kneecaps. Absolutely astounded as to how highly detailed this particular figure is. And then it comes with a backpack, if I can get this thing out properly. And actually, I didn't know the backpack, you can twist these things around, no matter, but it snaps in the peg and hole thing. And then you have the Oculus bolt carbine, and I believe that you can arm him with various other things, such as there should be a bolt pistol, as well as the combat knives that you saw here. So very, very accurate, very, very greatly detailed. I think this one you can actually put a holster, so you can, I suppose, hip fire it. That's really cool, that I did not find on the Blood Angels Intercessors. And again, you can swap out, ooh, actually I didn't know that you could put the combat knife on the other side. This is a very, very cool accompaniment that is very, very accurate, and I love it. And oh, this one swivels around too. Very cool. So anyway, oh, you actually can mimic this too, where you can put the holster here, the empty holster here, and then put the bolt pistol over here. Very nice. And as you can see, it's fairly easy to have the Space Marine wield the pistol, and you can have different hands that you can pop in and out. And I'll show you very quickly how easy it is to do. So I want him to wield the bolt carbine. So it's a ball and socket joint that you can just kind of pull out here, and there you go. There's the ball and the socket of the hand. You should be able to quickly push it back in, which I'm not exactly sure why. Let's see with this one if it actually fits. It should just pop directly on. There you go, see? It should pop directly on. So that is Incursor number 1. So let's see what Incursor number 2 has to offer. Without further ado, let's crack number 2 open and see what we have, or who we have. It's going to be wrapped 100% the same way. But anyway, so you have the Oculus carbine, bolt carbine. You have the pistols here as well. Again, let me show you a close-up. Very, very highly detailed. You could see a lot of weathering that's going on here that actually, to be honest, a person that is painting a model would put on. So you see the highlights. You could see possible shading with like a Nuln oil over here, and then some highlights with probably like, well, I use Stormhold Silver all the time, but this is very, very cool, very accurate. So moving on, the backpack is pretty much the same, and I believe that you can also outfit this Incursor with the same accompaniment, which is the bolt pistol off to the side, as well as the combat knives. Again, very cool touch. I love this. And then you should be able to switch out the arms as usual. And these guys are completely posable. So I'm going to have this guy kind of kneel over here if he doesn't fall over, but you can have him kneel kind of like this. Very cool. So let's do a close-up of this one. You can see that there's a little bit of lines over here that were off print, but hey, you know what? This is probably the most highly detailed model that I've seen of any kind of Warhammer product that got released. As I said before, these look way better than the McFarlane ones, and I think the only one that actually comes close to these guys are the Bandai ones, but unfortunately I don't actually have one to show you. So, all right, we have Incursor number 3. We get number 1 and number 2 out of the way, and let's see if there's anything that's different about this one. Like I said, I'm hoping that one of them has the haywire mine that you saw earlier, and the haywire mine is exactly this thing. Let's crack this bad boy open. See what we got. And no, this guy does not have the haywire mine, which is kind of a disappointment to me. I wish it did. So you have, yep, he's got the sergeant markings on his knee, and then as usual you have the bolt carbine, the bolt pistol, and so I guess the sergeant doesn't get anything too special, unfortunately. I really think sergeants, being the leader of their little 5-man group or 10-man group should get something special. A knife that's a bit of a different color, or a bolt pistol that's a different color, but no. I guess the only thing that's different is that the sergeant has some sort of, I don't know if this is a frag grenade or a crack grenade. Off the top of my head, I don't know what one looks like, but this is the close-up of the sergeant. And again, highly detailed. Oh, this is a slightly disappointing thing. It's almost like a misprint or something like that. Area that should not have been painted was painted a gold, but hey, you know what? It's still pretty good. The eyes still look pretty accurate. You can see the pupils and stuff here. Very cool model. We shall get to the last Incursor, and this one should be the one with the haywire mine. Or I hope there's one with the haywire mine. Come on. Let's see what this one shall hold. Let's this bad boy open. Oh yeah, there you go. This is cool. So, not too much different from the rest of the Space Marines. Again, highly detailed with all the highlights, as well as there's some shading that's going on here. Some extra detail has been put into this guy in particular. But again, the rest of the armaments are pretty much the same, minus this gigantic haywire mine that's supposed to, in-game, take out a bunch of tanks and other heavy weapons. This haywire mine, unfortunately, does not have a lot of highlights that you would normally find on the rest of the bolt carbine, as well as the bolt pistol itself. So this is a little bit surprising to me that doesn't have it. So in terms of accuracy, I believe that the haywire mine out here has been popped or triggered, so it pops up. But it's pretty spot on accurate. And you have the handle that the Incursor uses to, I guess, haul it around. Yeah, so just a quick recap. I think, again, JoyToy does a fantastic job of recreating Games Workshop models. They got it down to the finest detail over here, as you see with the real Games Workshop model versus these action toys that you see over here. Everything is lovingly recreated, very accurate, very highly detailed. I can't say enough praises about JoyToy with all the highlighting and their attention to detail, as well as the accuracy, as well as, you know, the posability of these action figures. So do I think that it's worth the $25 price tag for these particular action figures? Oh, heck yeah. I will definitely be displaying these models somewhere in my man cave very proudly, as I just love these models so much. And as long as JoyToy and Warhammer keep working out their collaboration, I'll definitely be bleeding more money. So this is Sprues and Studs. I hope you enjoyed this review, and we're going to be doing another review with the infiltrators that I got in another subsequent video. And I have 2 more hero characters that we're going to be reviewing pretty soon once I get them in the mail. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.